Hey friends, welcome back to our 10th episode of this amazing journey. In our previous episode, we witnessed the great rebirth, the rise of the Ottoman Empire, when faith and knowledge rebuilt the Muslim world into a beacon of light and justice. But history reminds us, no empire remains at its peak forever. When faith weakens, unity fades, and pride replaces humility, decline slowly begins, even for the greatest of nations. Now, let's explore this chapter, a time of reflection and trial when the Muslim world stood between past glory and future hope. Episode 10, Decline. When leaders forgot the principles of justice and humility, power turned into pride, and unity turned into rivalry. Instead of serving their people, many began to chase their own desires, and what was once an empire of fairness and strength started to fall apart from within. The maps of glory slowly faded, not because of enemies outside, but because of cracks forming inside. As the Muslim world became divided, the world beyond began to unite. European nations rose with determination, advancing in science, technology, and strategy, while the Muslim empires hesitated, caught between old traditions and lost purpose. Piece by piece, lands were taken, seas were controlled, and the Ummah that once led the world now stood watching its power slip away. But even in these troubled times, there were hearts that refused to give up. Scholars, poets, and reformers raised their voices, reminding the Ummah that revival begins not with wealth or weapons, but with wisdom and faith. They called the people back to the Quran and knowledge, the same sources that once made them leaders of the world. Their message was clear: rebuild the soul before rebuilding the state. The empire's walls may have fallen, but the light of faith never did. In quiet homes, families still gathered to pray. In small mosques, voices of the Quran still echoed in the night. The rulers may have lost their thrones, but the believers never lost their hope. Through every hardship, Islam lived on, carried not by empires or armies, but by ordinary people whose hearts still shone with the light of Allah. Indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:11. Allah reminds us that change begins within ourselves. When we return to our faith and character, He restores our strength and honor. Friends, this was the age of decline, a reminder that nations fall when they forget their values, but hope always returns for those who remember Allah. Even in decline, the Muslim Ummah never lost its faith. The lantern still glows, waiting for a new generation to carry its light forward. In the next episode, we'll see how the Muslim world stood at a crossroad, between old traditions and new ideas, searching for a path to renewal. Inshallah.